Hey guys, good morning. I am glad to be back with you guys this morning. So we're going to bring you guys a new adventure. We're back close to home again. If you watched the last couple videos, you got to see our Colorado trip, which was a first for us. A really awesome trip. So if you haven't seen those, make sure we're done here, go check those out. But glad to be back home bringing you a video from kind of close to home. I will say today is still all new water. So even though we didn't travel distance wise all that far, it took a while to get in here. We had a long drive on some dirt roads, and just honestly takes a while to get back in here. Where we are, we're high elevation, western North Carolina. We are almost in Tennessee. Not too much further west, you'd be in Tennessee. So let me show you what we got here. This is the main stream where I'm starting. So what's going to happen is we're not going to fish any of that. I've got everything mapped out for today. We should have some Forest Service roads that allow us to follow this main stream that I just showed you about 2.5 miles further north. And basically at that point it starts to break up into its main feeder creeks and tributaries. We're about 3,000 feet in elevation right now. I think we end up about 3,200 feet around there where we'll stop. Brook trout should start showing up. I've got some natural barriers kind of mapped out, and honestly, elevation wise, they should start to show up as we go higher in elevation. So our goal today is to try to find some native brookies in a new area I've never fished before. So coming to a place like this, you never know what's going to happen. It could be a bust, but also sometimes this is where you find some truly hidden gems that you can come back and fish for the future. So I'm excited. We're going to get to hiking. We got to get at least 2.5 miles in. After that, there's still some old Forest Service roads back in here that I think should help us access some of these feeder creeks. They're probably grown up. They've been closed for a long time, but there should at least be some remnants we can use to hike and get where we want to be. So we're going to get all ready, get geared up, start hiking, and see what kind of day we can have. It's a beautiful early September day. Been really cool. We've had rain the last few days. We've had really cool temperatures, unseasonably cool for this time of year. So it should make for a really pretty day. We're going to hike and get after it. So road has been very helpful so far. We're about a mile in, but it looks like we're about to lose it right up here. The old maps show a road bed that should have kept going up on this ridge, and it's pretty grown over. So we'll have to, everything from here on out, we'll have to figure out. There may still be a trail that kind of follows along the river, but we don't get the benefit of the big road that we had on the way in. So we got about another mile that I was hoping to travel, but we'll have to just see how rough it gets in here. But yeah, here's the river. Really pretty hole right here in front of us, but really pretty looking up through there. We'll try to continue covering some ground. I brought in today, just to give you an idea of the setup for the day, brought in my 7.5 foot 3-weight. I really hope to do a lot of dry fly fishing, dry dropper action, just depending on what the fish will hit, especially getting to brook trout territory. I'd like to catch some on the dries. We'll see how far we can make it up through here and see what the day brings, but we're gonna start getting in the river and see what can happen. Wasn't real sure what the river would look like, so I had not tied anything on. I think what I'm gonna do, this is big enough water that I'm gonna start with a dry dropper, and we're gonna do a little parachute Adams, one of the little high-vis versions that I like so much. I've seen me use those before, down to a little yellow soft tackle that I tied. A little tiny little soft tackle, something small, and we'll put that about 18 inches, 2 feet below that. Let's see what we can make happen. Here we sneak down, try to stay stealthy, and get to the back of this hole, see if we can keep them scared and everything. This should be, big thing about these fish is they'll probably be kind of spooky, so we'll stay back behind the hole. Really try to stay in the shadows as much as we can. Be sweet to get a fish out of this first hole. I don't know if we'll be that lucky, but it would be cool. There we go. Oh, popped off. That was, whatever that was, hit the dropper. There we go. See if we can get him up here. Little guy. See what we got. Looks like a little rainbow. Real dark. Dark rainbow. Get down here, we can get you in the water. Nice barbless hook, popped off. Alright, we'll let him go. Back to play another day. Here we go, picked up one off the other side of that. Caught another little rainbow. Really pretty rainbow. Get you up here at the net. Oh. There we go. Pretty, very pretty colors on that fish. Not big, but man, he makes up for it in colors. Let's get our hands wet. Show them off. It's a gorgeous fish. Look at that pink line down through there. Very pretty fish. Alright, so that's what the stream looks like. Caught 2 right here, missed 2 more. Really pretty up through here. Fished up there already. Missed 1 up there, but we're gonna see if we can't walk up here and see if we can find some semblance of a road or a old a trail or old road bed, because we want to really cover a lot more ground than we have so far. The road kind of fizzled out before we thought it would, so we're gonna keep moseying up, see if we can cover a lot more ground. There's a really pretty hole in there. Oh, that was a bite, or if it hit bottom. I think that was a, oh, another bite. Take it, buddy. They're interested. Oh, he took that. Oh goodness, that was funny. I was literally reeling back to about to do a back cast. That fish took it as it was coming out of the water, and that is a brook trout. Yeah, man. So that means that we are far enough up to find a brook trout. I was planning on going higher up because I didn't think they would show up that early, but a little quick release there, he popped off. I'm stoked. Catch a brook trout that early. I really thought we'd have to spend some time going higher, so that's good. At least they're in here. Get untangled here, and we'll get our line back out there. See if we can pick up another one. That's a really pretty hole right there. It's weird. There's like 3 or 4 different fish. Looked at that fly, flashed at it on the way down this first time, mainly in the back half of this hole, and pulled the one out of it. Weirdly enough, oh, there's another one. I was about to say, weirdly enough, didn't get any more bites, but there's one. He's gonna take off running past me downstream. Another rainbow. Got a little rainbow. I love it. Pretty fish. They are so pretty, these wild guys. While my intention was to head a good bit upstream before I began fishing, I couldn't help but spend some time at these first few holes at my initial stream crossing. They were just too pretty to pass up. Ultimately, I'm glad I stopped, as it turned out to be a great start to the day. I was able to pick up several fish that otherwise would have passed by. Got one. Woo-hoo. Let him go. I love it. Alright. I think we found, after fishing a minute, found one of the old road beds, I guess. Kind of looks like it. So we're gonna try to cover some ground and see if we can get a little bit further up. Kind of what we originally planned on, but we got a few fish in that right there at that first area where we crossed was kind of a good big change in elevation. You could tell it was going through a big drop right there, so some little bigger pools and falls down into some little pools and runs that were really good to fish. So we got to pick out a few fish there, and then it kind of slowed down for a second. And now here we are back on the trail trying to cover some more ground. So hopefully we'll be into more fish here very shortly. There we go. Caught one on the dropper there. There we go. Looks like a rainbow. Oh, hang on. Get a good look at you, bud. What we got there? Hey, brook trout. Yeah, man. Took me a second to get a good look at him, but little native brookie. So it's like heading higher up and taking the trail up the water helped a little bit. Pretty fish. Pretty colors. Get them off. Alright, so I figured I'd just come real quick, give you a kind of a midday update. I stopped and had just a little bit of lunch. Fishing slowed down a good bit. Caught a good mini right there off the bat. It was pretty hot to start with. I probably caught 5 or 6 off the little yellow soft tackle that I had. You'd see fish at least, interested in the dry fly. And then we hit like a lull. Changed flies a few times. I'll pick one up just every now and then here and there. Picked up a couple of rainbows here lately. A couple little brookies, but not that consistent action that we were having to begin with. And it may just be that it's kind of a lull in the middle of the day, but I'm gonna keep trying to change up some flies and see if we can get them back going. Not a lot of bug action on top of the water, so we may just not have a lot of success with dry flies today. But as afternoon wears on, we can see if we see any hatches, and probably keep trying some smaller stuff on the bottom. I'm probably about to change. I had switched over to a little Pat's rubber legs, picked off one little rainbow, but not a lot of consistent action. So I think I'm going to switch over, do something real small like a little soft tackle pheasant tail, or a little olive Frenchie, something just real small, kind of natural looking, and see if we can coax anything in the net. But I'll kind of keep changing it up and see if we can find success again. We'll keep exploring upstream. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. And honestly, we didn't catch another fish. It's been an absolutely awesome day. Like we did really good to start with. We've probably got 10, 12 fish so far. But just hitting a little lull here, so we're going to keep changing it up and keep heading upstream. There we go. Oh, popped right off. Couldn't keep tension on it with the way I was standing with the trees above me. Like another little brook trout. That one's another one. We can keep out of the trees up here. Throw a rainbow. With our hands. Hold him up. Yep, a little bow. You can see him. Pretty fish. Another one on the Frenchie. There we go. That is a very pretty brook trout. Man, let's get him in the net so we can actually get a picture of him. Not big, but look at these colors, man. So I'm gonna show him to you before we lose him. To get the dry fly for once. There we go. Oh, that is a good fish. Yeah. Had to get him out of that before he got wrapped in that log. Nice. Whoop. Little bow. All right, just getting back down to the main Forest Service road so we can actually make a little bit of time walking out of here. But it's gonna come to you real quick. It ended up being a really good day. You never know what you're gonna get into when you're trying to explore new country like this, especially like headwaters and high elevation places. Because sometimes you get in there, it just ends up being just, you know, loads of thicket and rhododendron and mountain laurel, and it's just, you're like, why am I doing this? And other times it's totally worth it because you get in there and find some places like today where, you know, not many people get to go and not many people are willing to put in the work to get to, and you find some real hidden gems. And today was one of those days, and very thankful to have tried this place. I will definitely gladly come back. And it went a little bit different as far as access goes than I thought. I thought I would be able to use the old Forest Service roads to a little bit more in my favor. Ended up being only one main one that didn't go as far as it looked like on the map. So it only got me about 1.5 miles in, and the rest of the way had to make my way up by river or by little deer trails and things like that. So I didn't get to access a lot of the tributaries that I thought I was going to get to. But having said that, it ended up not mattering. So I ended up getting into brook trout as I made my way up, just I think purely by elevation. So once that started happening, I wasn't too upset that I wasn't getting to make it up to those higher tributaries. So ended up picking up rainbows and brooks off and on the whole day, and that's not a bad day. For the most part, they I would say they 90% hit nymphs. Started off real hot with the little yellow soft tackle that I'd tried or that I'd tied, and then they kind of turned off for a little bit, and you know, I had a hard time figuring out what to do in the middle of the day. I kept changing flies and they just really weren't doing much. And then as afternoon wore on, I switched out my bottom fly to a little olive Frenchie, and I mean, I started catching a lot of fish. So I don't know if it necessarily was, you know, did I hit the right fly? Did I, you know, just catch them when they started being active again and feeding? I don't know, but it really didn't matter because it ended up making for a really good afternoon. But all in all, great day. I gladly come back to this place, and I will say fall is in the air. It is around the corner, and I'm excited for some more fall fly fishing, fall adventures, and I hope you guys are able to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather too. We've been fortunate here into summer with some really cool fall-like days that we can get out and enjoy like this one. But I can't wait for fall to be here in full swing. So we'll catch you guys on the next video. We'll have some more coming soon. Thank you guys for tagging along.